Members here to uphold the honour of the school. Mr Chairman, can I just say that in summary, we do support the bill, we support the implementation of Part 2, but it is important that the government gets this right and follows this through with appropriate policing of these regulations.
I call the honourable member Stephen Brown.
Thank you, Mr Chair. The Green Party is supporting this part of the bill. We're opposed to the bill in general because of the provisions that are in there over a number of things, including the government-industry agreement. But in this particular part to do with ballast water, we think this is a great improvement. We do believe that the fines and the penalties could be somewhat more severe, and we take on a colleague's point there that the surveillance and the monitoring of this part of the bill on ballast water will be critical. Note in Part 1 where there's a bit of around ballast water and also biofouling, there's some issues sometimes where you cannot really tell the difference whether the new organism has come from biofouling or through the ballast water. In Tasman Bay, we had a major scare when the South African brown mussel was found there when the oil rig that was parked out there in 2008, I think, had actually deposited on the bottom this South African brown mussel, and it was so close to New Zealand's primary aquaculture area that posed a very, very real threat, and we're very, very fortunate that that threat appears to have been bypassed with good controls following that. But that was very concerning. We have oil rigs come into the Marlborough Sounds and actually park in the Marlborough Sounds in transit sometimes as well, and other ships passing through, smaller ones coming through French Pass even. So that area in the top of the south that has such an important industry is at real risk. So this bill is very important. An organisation I was involved with in the top of the south before coming into this role, Friends of Nelson Haven and Tasman Bay, has often advocated for improved controls, monitoring, and particularly in around Nelson Harbour and through the top of the south around ballast water. We think that there's been a number of organisms brought in that way, very, very hard to pinpoint which ship and when. And notice Undaria was mentioned earlier, and that's obviously been a major issue in the Marlborough Sounds, and it took the industry a lot of work, a lot of cost to get that into a particular sort of management regime. Unfortunately, it's never going to go away, and they've seen that as an opportunity, I suppose, and making a crop out of it. It does remind me, however, we get a new pest in, and Pacific oyster was mentioned, quite a luscious oyster to eat. However, I will note that the then theoretically honourable Doug Kidd, in talking to some marine farmers in the Marlborough Sounds who said, well, maybe we could farm it in Kenepuru Sound, he said, well, no, because it's not a natural organism there. But he said, by chance, should it happen to appear there, then maybe you could apply to farm it. And so what happened the next week, it was in Kenepuru Sound, brought over from Manaroa. So ballast, biofouling, or just general bad biosecurity advocated by former Minister of Fisheries, Doug Kidd. We have some major problems, but the Green Party see the benefit of this part of the bill, and we'll support this part of the bill. Thank you.
I call the honourable member Moana Maki.